Welcome to today's yoga break. Today we're going to do a yoga flow to relieve stress and agitation in the body and in the mind. If you have yoga blocks, that might be a nice prop, as we're going to be moving in and out of a forward bend, standing forward bend that you may feel like you need some yoga props for. If you don't have any, you can use books, or you can also just bend your knees. You can do yoga anywhere with anything, even if you don't have any props, just your body. Okay, so we'll start today in movement. I'm going to have you go ahead and come into a hands and knees position, and you'll bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And we'll begin to link the breath to the movement. On the inhalation, draw back through the heels of your hands as you broaden your chest and lift your chin. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, rounding your spine, dropping all the way back into child's pose. We're going to be alternating between child's pose and downward facing dog. So on your next inhale, let's come back to a hands and knees position. Feel your chest broaden. And this time as you exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, and press back into downward facing dog. We'll repeat that a few times. Inhale, hands and knees. Feel the breath drop in and down. Feel the chest expand. Lift the chin into the inhale. And then exhale, bend your elbows, round your spine, and drop back into child's pose. Again, inhale, come to hands and knees. Feel a slight back bend, and this time as you exhale, pull your navel in, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, press back into downward facing dog. We'll take one more round. Inhale, come to hands and knees, lift the chin, broaden the chest. Exhale, bend the elbows, round the spine, drop back into child's pose. Inhale, come to hands and knees. And exhale, tuck the toes, pull the navel in as you lift your hips, press back into downward facing dog, and we're going to stay here for about 3 cycles of breath. You can bend your right knee as you press your left hip back and sink a little weight into your left heel. You may feel some more stretching down the left leg. And then we'll switch sides, so you can bend your left knee as you press back through your right hip and drop into your right heel. Try not to accumulate any stress in your head and your neck. You can find some gentle movement there. Good, and then we'll come back to a neutral position. Press into your hands. Take your shoulders, kind of wrap your shoulders around the sides of your torso. You can have a slight bend in your knees as you reach up through both of your sit bones here. Take one more breath in. And then on the next exhalation, let's go ahead and step forward into a standing position. Good. Let's take the feet hips width distance here. We're going to move between a full forward bend and chair pose. On the inhalation, raise the arms. And as you exhale, bend your knees like you're sitting into a chair. Let's pull the navel in, drop your chest towards your thighs. Relax your head and neck at the end of the exhalation. And then inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Let's come all the way to stand. And this time, let's take a full forward bend. So just a very slight bend in your knee as you come all the way down, feeling the stretch along the entire back side of your body. And then inhale, arms reach forward and up. If that feels like it's too much, you can also reach your arms out to the side. And then exhale, again, bend your knees. Feel your quadriceps activating. Pull the navel in, around the spine. Relax the head and neck. Inhale, come back to stand. And exhale, full forward bend. Again, if you need to, you can reach your arms out to the side and down. That takes a little bit of the intensity out of the forward bend. And then again, as you come up, if you need to, arms can go out to the side and back up. We'll do one more round. Exhale, bend the knees, pull the navel in, relax the head and the neck into the exhalation. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. The last thing that happens is the straightening of the legs. And this time, full forward bend. And we'll hang out here in this position. See if you can begin to extend the length of your exhalation here. And then on our next inhale, we'll rise back up. And exhale, lower the arms. Take just a second and pause here in this position. Notice where your awareness is. And we'll split the feet here, the right foot forward, the left foot back. And this is where you may want to use blocks. So you can bring them on each side of your front foot. What we're going to be doing is moving between warrior one and a forward bend. It's Parsvottanasana, or sometimes pyramid pose, I think they call it. So on your inhalation, bend the front knee, reach the arms forward and up. And stay here as you exhale. Pull your navel in and press back into your left heel. On your next inhalation, we'll straighten the front leg, kind of feel the energy reaching up. And then as you exhale, we're going to come into a forward bend. So maybe your hands come to the floor or they come down towards your blocks. And then from this position, bend your knee deeply. And then we'll come back into warrior. And we'll stay for exhale. Firmly press into your feet. On the inhalation, straighten the front leg. And then as you exhale, moving into the forward bend. Really being mindful of feeling the whole body moving together. You'll bend your knee. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up into warrior. Stay for exhale. On the inhalation, straighten the front leg. And exhale, forward bend. We're going to take one more round. So bending the right knee. Really stabilize in your lower body as you come back up into the warrior position. Stay for the exhale. Kind of draw the navel in and press back into your left heel. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, forward. And this time we're going to stay in the forward bend. So here again, I'd like you to see if you can start to extend the length of your exhalation. And you can bring the awareness of letting go of any tension, stress in the body, kind of letting it just move out of your body with each exhale. Notice if you're holding any tension where your head meets your neck. See if you can release from there. And to come out of the pose, I'll have you bring your hands to your hips, create strong legs, and then inhale, and we'll come back up and bring the feet together, and then we'll switch sides. So the left foot is forward and the right foot back. If your feet were together, they would be hips width distance. So you can always check that just by stepping the back foot forward. And remember, this is more really about finding fluidity in your movement in relationship to your breath. It's not necessarily a perfect place to be. Just make sure that you can breathe as you move. So we'll move first into the warrior position. So on the inhalation, we're going to bend the left knee. We're going to reach the arms forward and up. On the exhalation, we'll stay here and just kind of find stability in the lower body. On the inhale, lift the energy up, the breath comes in and down, and then exhale into your forward bend, feeling your spine round, relaxing at the end of the exhale. Bending your left knee, inhale, come back into warrior, stay here for exhale. Inhale, straighten the leg, and exhale, gently draw your navel in. Let each vertebrae feel the rounding and the release all the way down to the head. And again, bending the left knee. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. As you exhale, pull the navel in, press into your right heel. We'll take one more round. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, forward. Bending the left knee. On the inhale, rise back up. On the next inhale, straighten the front leg, and then we're going to come into the forward bend, and we'll stay in the forward bend, and we'll increase the length of the exhalation in this position. So long, smooth inhales and exhales. And just see over the next few breaths if you can extend the length of the exhale. And with the exhale, release the tension, the stress, and the agitation from the body. And on the next inhalation, hands to the hips, and we'll rise back up. And then from there, you can just rotate to the right. And we're going to be coming into a forward bend from this position. We're actually going to take a twist, a lateral, and a forward bend. So if you have blocks, you can bring those blocks just in front of your feet. That's where we'll be using them. And we may be having to move them into the center. And this all just depends on what you have available and what you need. So play with just movement and breath. On your inhalation, extend your arms out wide. As you exhale, bend your right knee and bring your left hand down to the block or all the way down to the floor as you spiral around to look up towards your right fingers. And then on your inhale, let's come back up to stand. And as you exhale, laterally bend your spine to the left. Inhale through center, and on the exhalation, we'll come forward, where you may use the blocks underneath the shoulders. And then inhale, and we'll come back up and we'll start the whole pattern over. Exhale, bending your left knee, bring your right hand down, just spiral around to look up towards the left fingers. And then inhale through center. As you exhale, laterally bend to your right. Inhale, center. And exhale, forward, placing the hands underneath the shoulders, relaxing the head and the neck. And inhale, come back to stand. We're going to repeat. Exhale, bend your right knee, bring your left hand down. Feel your vertebrae rotate. Turn your head to look up towards the fingers. Inhale, come back through center. And exhale, laterally bend to your left, feeling space between your hip and your rib cage. Inhale, come back through center, and exhale, pull the navel in as you fold forward, relaxing the head at the end of the exhalation. Inhale, coming back up to stand, and exhale, spiraling to the left. Inhale through center and laterally bending to your right. Inhale, center, and exhale, forward. We'll take one more round. Inhale, coming back to the top. As you exhale, bend your right knee, rotate your vertebrae to the right, reaching up towards the ceiling with your fingers, and then inhale and come back through center. Exhale, laterally bend to your left. Feel the space between your ribs, maybe even look up. And come back through center on the inhalation. Exhale, forward. Inhale back to the top. Exhale, bending your left knee, bring your right hand down. Inhale to the top. Exhale, laterally bend to your right. Notice any differences between the right and the left side. Inhale through center and exhale forward. And we'll stay here in the forward bend. Again, elongating the exhale. So really noticing here that you can feel the back of your body letting go. Even through the head and through the neck. Releasing the tension, the stress, the agitation with the length of the exhale. And then on our next breath in, strong legs, I'll have you inhale and come back to stand. If you're dizzy at all, just a slight bend in your knees. And then we'll turn to face the short end of the mat, and we're going to make our way back down to the ground. So on the inhalation, raise the arms up and over your head. As you exhale, forward bend, step your feet back into a downward facing dog. And on your inhalation, drop down into hands and knees position. So we're going to be moving from child's pose into an upward facing dog. So just be cautious that you don't dump into your lower back, but that you feel a little bit more expansion through your chest and a little more movement through the middle of your back. So on your next exhale, I'll have you drop back into child's pose. And then just stretch your arms a little bit further forward than you may be accustomed to. And that'll put you in alignment for moving into your upward facing dog. On your next inhalation, I'm going to have you shift your hips forward. You're just staying kind of low to the ground. Kind of squeeze your elbows in and expand your chest. You'll notice my knees are still down on the ground. It's a little bit easier for the lumbar spine when you do it that way. And then exhale. Pull the navel in, round the spine, drop back into child's pose. We're going to take it a couple more times. On the inhalation, shifting the hips forward, kind of squeeze the elbows in. If you want a little bit more, press into your feet, lift your knees, draw your shoulders down the back of your body. And then exhale, pull the navel in and round the spine as you go back. We'll take one more. You choose which one feels best for you. Inhale, hip shift forward, draw the elbows in, expand your chest, feel the nice stretch through the front of your body. And exhale, coming back into child's pose. And I'm going to have you stay here in child's pose, and we'll do the same thing, just extending the length of the exhalation here in this position. Really just letting go. And from there, You can go ahead and walk your hands back towards your knees, and we'll come on up into a seated position, and you can take any seated position that feels most appropriate for you. Sometimes putting some blocks under your knees feels good, or a cushion under your bottom. But whatever it is, however you can sit comfortably here for just a minute. Have you close your eyes if that works for you, and if not, just drop your gaze down and out in front of you. I'd like you to turn your attention to your breath. And just start to feel your breath moving in and out of your body. Notice where in your body you change shape as you breathe. Do you feel your body changing shape through your chest and your upper back? Or do you feel it a little bit lower through the middle of the rib cage and the middle of your back? Or even further down around the navel and the low back? Just experiencing your breath. And then seeing if you can move the shape change a little bit further down. Down around the navel, the lower back. Even start to feel a little bit of shape change in the sides of your body, so it becomes a three-dimensional breath. See if you can breathe in for about 4, 5, or 6 counts. Feel the breath drop all the way in and down. And then see if you can breathe out for about 6, 7, or 8 counts. So you're making your exhale just a little bit longer than your inhale. And just continue in that way. Whatever your inhale is, see if you can make your exhale 2 counts longer. Begin to feel as you exhale any excess tension, stress, agitation that has accumulated in your body, leaving your body with the exhale. And bringing your awareness to your body, just noticing how it feels. And bringing your awareness to your mind. Noticing if you've created any change with your breath and movement. And then as you're ready, just opening your eyes back into the room. And that completes today's yoga break to relieve stress and agitation in the body and in the mind. And I hope that you will live happy, healthy, and connected.